Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin' Robbie Bills, and it's finally time for the weekly comic book review. That's right, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the video, and thank you for your patience this week. The video is late, obviously. I got hit with what seems to be food poisoning on Tuesday evening and pretty much all day Wednesday. It was miserable. I do not recommend it for anybody. I'm feeling better today, so let's get the video going. But I'll tell you this, I've read these books over a period of days, some of which being in the midst of delirium, so we're just going to do our best. But I got a streak right now of not missing a week, and I want to keep that streak alive. So even though it's late, it's time for the weekly comic book review. We're going to give it our best shot, and thank you for your patience. I really do. And everybody that messaged me, thank you so much. It makes me feel so good when the video doesn't release on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, and like people reach out and they ask me, "Are you alive?" Yeah, so I do appreciate that. Anyway, we always start with the pick of the week, and this week's pick of the week is Transformers number 16 from Image Comics, Skybound, the Energon universe. Y'all know how much I have been loving this book. It continues to engage, enthrall, captivate, and compel me. And this is one of the best issues of Transformers yet. 100%. Daniel Warren Johnson is killing this book. I mean, I say the same. I feel like I say the same stuff sometimes on all of these videos. But you know what? Screw it. We'll say it again. Daniel Warren Johnson is telling a story about war and its effect on those who fight war, right? Soldiers. Like, it's like truly a great dive into what war does, not only to a society, but to a person. I consider Transformers people. So yeah, right, yeah. Big, action-packed stuff. There is a giant moment in this book that is freaking crazy. Now, Daniel Warren Johnson can craft these giant moments perfectly well, but the artist on this book is Jorge Corona. Jorge Corona, I've said this before, I'll say it again. He is being able to bring his own style into this book, and at the same time, kind of capture the dynamic energy of what Daniel Warren Johnson would have done. It's amazing. I love this book, and it's got an ending that is badass. Just absolutely badass, super phenomenal. Transformers. The artwork, the moments, the character beats, everything about this book works and excels so freaking well. It's the pick of the week yet again, and I'll probably mention it on the monthly comic book review. So there you go. By the way, the monthly comic book review will be the last Friday of this month, 6 p.m. Central Time. Also, big announcement, I guess. Tomorrow, Friday, January 10th at 7 p.m. Central Time, we're going to have the team behind Little Bird and Precious Metal here on the channel for a conversation with me and my homies Nick, Eric, and Stu. We have Ian Bertram and Darcy Van Polgees. Very, very excited for that. This is going to be Friday night. I'm glad that the sickness hit me before that day. I'll tell you that. All right. Also from Image, we got a new one. It's The Lucky Devils. This is from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, the same team behind books like Curse Words and 8 Billion Genies. 8 Billion Genies was an amazing book that I felt kind of didn't quite nail the ending, but this is their newest collaboration, Lucky Devils. And so this book is about let's back up. So in 8 Billion Genies, the book was about that every person on this planet has a genie attached to them that can give them a wish or something, and it causes the world to go in like chaotic splendor, right? Lucky Devils is about the idea that every person on this planet has a devil that's trying to get them to do like bad things, and this book is about two people in particular, and they're two devils, and the two devils have concocted a scheme to rise within their ranks, if you will. It's a really cool book. I liked it. I like I said, it's been delirious these last couple days, but this was one of the first books I read, and I really enjoyed it. It is a little bit long-winded at times, but honestly, that didn't bother me. The concept, the art, the story, everything about it was very compelling, very engaging. It was really interesting. So this book I would highlight as definitely something you want to pick up. All right. Then we got Death of Copra, issue number 1. Is it Copra or is it Copra? I don't know. I have only ever read the first trade paperback collection of Copra. I'm going to call it Copra, because it's like Copra. Anyway, I've only ever read the first trade paperback of this. I want to get into it. This is written, illustrated, everything is done by Michel Fiffe, who I've met a couple times in person. Super cool dude. So I read this and I was lost. Michel does a great job of trying to bring new readers in, but that's still a hard thing to do when you're basically doing an ongoing story. I love the art. I love the story. I know a little bit about, Copra, but like, I'm not as affluent in it as I want to be. I need to read more. There's a hardcover collection that I gotta get that has books 1 and 2 together in a hardcover format. I want to get that. That would be super cool. But the book was cool. Like, I love Fiffe's work. Like, I think he is an amazing talent. I think he is incredibly intelligent about comic books and comic book making. And yeah, I've read other books from him, and like he did the Bloodstrike book, The Brutalist. I'm sweating. It's like 22 degrees here, and I'm like sweating. That's funny. Maybe I'm not over my sickness. Oh, that's a thought. Maybe I'm not over it. Anyway, Death of Copra, whatever you want to call it. Michel Fiffe is great. He's so perfect of an artist. He's a writer. He does everything. This is what I love. I love comic books done by one person. And I loved this book, even though I didn't get every single bit of what was going on, because I'm not fully caught up on this book. So read Copra. I guess that's the point there. All right, then we got Geiger issue number 10, The Return of Gary Frank into the pages of Geiger. And y'all, it is soaring. This book was so freaking good. It was almost the pick of the week. In this one, we have the return of Junkyard Joe into the pages of Geiger. That's awesome. That's fun. The return of Gary Frank as well. That was great. I mean, Geiger's been good this entire time. And so I recently released my top 20 video, right? My top 20 of 2024. And there are a lot of people being like, why are you not giving Ghost Machine any love? And you know what? You're right. Like Geiger probably should have been on that list. Geiger should have been on that list. So I think I failed there. That being said, this issue of Geiger's great. The art's great. The story's great. The characters are awesome. I really like this issue of Geiger. Geiger continues to impress. We're going to move on. Kaya. Kaya is here with issue number 24. Let's go ahead and retire the number 24 as well, as we did 23. There was the Michael Jordan joke last month. Anyway, Kaya's great. This is Wes Craig doing the best version of his work and his craft he's ever done. Kaya is amazing. It is a great book that's almost all ages. It's kind of like in the vein of something like Bone. It's an ongoing fantasy saga that young adults... I would say this book is appropriate. I guess if this was a movie, it would be rated PG-13. But nowadays, I guess that's PG. I mean, a 5 and 6 year old maybe not, but like 10 and up for sure. Definitely got to check this book out. And all adults, like the art is amazing. The panel design, the page layouts, the composition, everything about it, the coloring, the momentum, the pace, everything about this book soars. It freaking soars. This book is so good. Now, every time I talk about Kaya, I mention how it's underappreciated. More people need to be reading it. More people need to be talking about it. And then most people go, yeah, I'm right there with you. And occasionally I get a comment of someone being like, I tried Kaya, it wasn't for me. That's fine. Not every book is for everybody. But books are for everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? Like comics, books, novels, whatever. Reading. We all need to read more, right? Do we not? And Kaya, to me, is a book that you can get somebody into comic books with. And I get it's not for everybody. I mean, some people will be like, it's all right. Kaya is amazing. It's one of the best comics out there right now. All right, let's jump over to Marvel. Am I still in a state of delirium? It feels like I am. All right, from Marvel we have What If? What if Galactus transformed Gambit? So last week so this is a weekly thing they're doing in January where it's a different What If book, and it's like What If Galactus transformed. Last week it was Hulk. This week Gambit. What's coming up? We got Spider-Gwen, Rogue, and Moon Knight. So there's a new one of these every week with a different writer and a different artist. Manuel Garcia is the artist. Josh Trujillo is the writer. This one was better than the Hulk one. It was better than the Hulk one. It was an interesting story. I didn't mind it. I liked it enough. Once again, though, I was in the midst of delirium when I read this one. I was trying so hard, y'all. I was like, oh man, I gotta get this video out. I'm sweating right now. It's like literally 22 degrees. What if Galactus transformed Gambit? It was fun. It was decent. It was cool. It didn't have the dark tone and approach that I really love and appreciate about What If comics, but it was cool. Like, Gambit becomes the Herald of Galactus, and he goes on the ultimate score, right? Like, he goes to steal a planet for Galactus, and that was pretty fun. So I enjoyed that one. All right, then we got Magik. Magik, issue number 1. Magik, the fan favorite X-Men character, Illyana Rasputin. She has her own book, a J. Scott Campbell cover right there. Joseph Campbell. This is written by Ashley Allen with artwork by Herman Peralta. I'm a big fan of Peralta's work, so I loved the artwork here, and I liked the story too. It follows there was a blood hunt Magik one-shot where Magik is trying to save mutants in danger. It follows along that path, but with a little bit of something added to it. I don't know what to say right now. But I liked Magik. I thought it was good. I thought it was a solid book. And as far as X books go right now, they're kind of like, some are good, some are okay, some are bad. This one was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was good. All right, moving on. I don't have a smell of the week. I hadn't even thought about the cover of the week. That J. Scott Campbell's cool. He's doing Joseph Campbell honor. Anyway, New Champions number 1 is here. That art germ cover is pretty cool. I rarely grab and pick up a variant cover, so I guess maybe cover of the week. Let's just give it to art germ. Smell of the week? I don't know. You tell me. What's the smell of the week? What's the best smelling comic this week? But New Champions issue number 1. I'm okay. Like, there's a bunch of characters in here. I have no idea who the fuck they are, right? I have no idea who these characters are. The story was decent, I guess. It was okay. There's like a kid version of Moon Knight. There's like a woman that seems to have like slight America Chavez powers. I don't really know. I don't know where these characters debuted. It felt like this wasn't issue number 1. Like, it did not do a great job to me of setting this up. But also, it's just, I don't know. It was rather mundane. And I don't know if I like that Marvel approach of super mundane heroes where everything is so like grounded. I don't know. It didn't really quite work for me. I guess I didn't like it. All right. Daredevil Unleash Hell issue number 1. The latest atrocity from Marvel that is wrapped in a poly bag and labeled Red Band as if it's like too gnarly for readers, right? If you're doing a Red Band mature readers book that's gonna have like lots of gore and violence and bloody and shit like that, like don't censor the cursing. Like, it's bagged already. You're saying it's not for kids. Like, why do we got censored cursing in a mature reader's book? DC does the same damn thing. Like, if it's a mature reader's book, why are you censoring stuff? Anyway, that being said, it's Elektra as Daredevil. I love Elektra. I prefer Elektra as Elektra. This book didn't do much for me. I thought it was pretty bad. To be honest with you. Then we got What If Mickey and Friends Became the Fantastic Four. So I've read all of these Disney Marvel What If collaborations. You know, What If Minnie Mouse became Captain Marvel? They did What If Mickey became Iron Man or some shit like that. They did What If Donald Duck was Thor and Wolverine? Those were fun. This one was the best of all of these. Maybe it's because I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. Like, I love Fantastic Four. That's my favorite comic book series of all time. Like, as far as ongoing superhero comics especially. I'm a big mark for the Fantastic Four. This was awesome. I loved it. So Mickey, of course, is Mr. Fantastic. Minnie is Sue. Donald is the Thing, and Goofy is the Human Torch. I think I'm still feeling rough. Anyway, What If Mickey and Friends Became the Fantastic Four? I love how it mirrors the structure of the first issue of Fantastic Four, which has the facsimile edition out today, including a foil copy, which I didn't grab, and I guess I got to get to work today to make sure I grab a hold of that. But anyway, this was fun, super cute, very charming. I thought it was the best of all those yet. Then we got All New Venom, issue number 2. All New Venom to me is whack. I don't like it. I don't like the whole conceit of this book, which is, who is the new All New Venom? Is it Luke Cage? Is it Robbie Robertson? It's not Robbie Robertson. Is it Rick Jones? Is it Madam Mask? Like, it just doesn't quite work for me. I guess I'm going to keep along with it long enough to find out who the new All New Venom is. The art's fine. The art is great. The story's okay. It's okay. I know a lot of people have been like, show more art within, like, sure, there you go. I don't know. It's just not working for me. But I'm more engaged and intrigued by who the new Venom is. So that keeps me going. Then we got The Amazing Spider-Man issue 65. Joe Kelly is back. Kano on the artwork. Or Cafu on the artwork. This was a great issue of Amazing Spider-Man. I really liked it. So Spider-Man is given these abilities that he can die 8 times and resurrect himself or something. So he has to go up against all these people that are representing Satorak or something. This has been the best issue yet. I really liked it. Peter is put in a position where he has to kind of experience the loss and the tragedy of the deaths of everybody close to him. And it hit like more of an emotional beat. And I really liked that. Plus, Cafu's artwork was pretty solid throughout the book. I liked it. I thought this was the most interesting spin on this whole 8 Deaths of Spider-Man book so far. So I thought that was really good. All right, then we got Uncanny X-Men issue number 8. This wraps up the crossover with X-Men right now, and it was okay. It was okay. Uncanny has been my favorite of the main title X-Men books right now, but this one didn't really do that much for me. It was okay. The art was pretty solid. The art is by a different guy, Javier Garron. The art's solid enough. It's okay. Every page I pull out is another advertisement. I thought this was okay. It was decent. It was a decent enough wrap up, but I'm super sweaty right now. Maybe I'm still sick. Anyway, Uncanny X-Men number 8 was okay. It was all right. I hope now that this crossover is behind us that we can just kind of get back into what I was liking about this book. Because it's not really present there. All right. For some reason, I decided to read Wolverine number 5. I have not been liking this book after issue 1. I really liked issue number 1. It just kept getting more and more lackluster, but I'm glad I read issue number 5 because I enjoyed issue number 5. You get a little bit more information about what this is that's happening. Basically, everybody in the Marvel Universe that has like adamantium as a part of their power set or their bone makeup or something like that, there's some kind of something happening that's influencing them, and you got Cyber, you got Lady Deathstrike, you got the Constrictor. This was a better issue. I thought this wasn't as good as issue number 1, but it was better than 2, 3, and 4. So it's keeping my interest alive enough. All right, then we got Sentinels here with issue number 4. One more issue to go. This is the penultimate issue of Sentinels, I believe. Written by Alex Packnadell, artwork by somebody Mason. Somebody Mason is the actual official name of that person. Justin Mason. I'm loving this book. I really do. I think Alex is approaching it from a very grounded level. It's about a group of soldiers who have Sentinel nanotechnology embedded into them to help not fight the mutant cause, but like help it as well. Like, it's interesting. It's cool. I cannot wait until the last issue comes out and to read it all together. It is a good high concept, military grade sci-fi book. And I really like it for that. All right. We're about to take a break, and I'll go over to DC. But before we do that, we got to talk about Ultimate Black Panther issue number 12. There's an annoying part of this book, which is that there's a big fake out in the beginning, but then it resolves itself perfectly fine. I love Ultimate Black Panther. It's a slow burn. People are talking about how they've lost interest in this book. It's, to me, awesome. And all the buildup is being paid off right now in these pages. I think they did a hellacious, awesome job on Ultimate Black Panther number 12. I liked it. I continue to like it. So maybe you'll like it as well. Time to jump over to DC. First, a quick break. We'll be right back. DC. Let's go. All right, let's move to DC. It's been a couple hours since I did the last, the first half of this video, but we're just gonna. I feel like shit. I feel like shit right now. But we're gonna go ahead and go and do it. DC. Let's see. We got a new DC book, Aquaman number 1. I love Aquaman. Aquaman is one of my favorite characters of all time. I love this character, and I will gladly tell you that Aquaman number 1 by Jeremy Adams and John Timms is fucking near perfect. This is a book that you need to check out. If you've never read an Aquaman book before, jump in right here. It's really good. It's a great spotlight on Aquaman, Aquaman's importance to the DC universe and his power set. It's a great introduction, but at the same time, it's really plugged in to the DCU right now, right? It's really plugged into the DC All-In, Dark Side, all that kind of stuff. This book, out of all of the other books that DC's been releasing, I'm sorry, I'm still quite delirious. This book is like really plugged in, and it feels like All-In is very essential, and this book is essential to that. It's great. Aquaman's got some new powers that he's playing with. The artwork is great. It's very dynamic, very kinetic, and I love this book. I think it's great. Hey, y'all, I'm sorry. We're going to probably have to rush through most of the rest of this video. Now we got Absolute Batman issue number 4. No Nick Dragata. Nick Dragata is not here as the artist. It's Gabriel Walta Hernandez, which is really dope. Or Gabriel Hernandez Walta. The art's fine. The story's okay. But Absolute Batman number 4 proves that Nick Dragata is so essential to the success of this book. So Absolute Batman number 4 dives a little bit more into his early days as Batman, a little bit more origin-y type stuff. And it's fine, it's okay, but it didn't hit me like Batman or Absolute Batman number 3 did. It's still a great book. I still liked it. I thought it was super solid, but it didn't really win me over like Absolute Batman number 3. All right, there you go. Then we got Batman Dark Patterns issue number 2. Dan Waters, Hayden Sherman. I loved this book. Dan Waters, as a writer, knows how to write dark and complex stories, right? And he also knows how to adapt his style for a mainstream audience, right? The writing in this book is so great, and what like really surprised me was I expected this book to go in one direction, And in issue number 2, Dan is taking it into another direction. Then you got the artwork from Hayden Sherman. They are one of my favorite artists in the industry right now. They're doing amazing work. This is why. It's because of books like Batman Dark Patterns. It's such a great book, and it's also firmly implanted in early Batman lore. And it's not just because... Y'all, I'm not feeling good. It's not just because this is how the book has to be. It's because this is how the book needs to be. Right? Does that make sense? Oh. I think I've crossed over into delirium yet again. Anyway, Batman Dark Patterns is really good. If you like the first issue, you're going to love issue 2 even more. If you didn't check out the first issue, check out issue 1 and 2. Buy them right now. They're really good. And if you didn't like issue number 1, maybe come and check out issue number 2 because it's pretty good. Anyway, we're moving on. We are moving along. We're chugging along. Batman and Robin, issue number 17. This was a really solid issue of Batman and Robin. I thought that I think this book, since Phil Kennedy Johnson has been taken over, has been okay. And was it Javier Fernandez on the artwork? Like, the artwork's great. It's throwing back to old school stuff. I appreciate that. I like that. This issue's really good. It really highlights the relationship between Damian and Bruce, right? Like, and that's what a Batman and Robin book in the modern age should do. So yeah, I like this book. I thought it was cool. Then we got DC versus Vampires World War V, issue number 6. Yeah, issue number 6. What a great issue. This has not been one of my favorite series, but I've been enjoying it. I never finished the original Batman and, I've never finished the original DC versus Vampires, but I've been all in when it comes to DC versus Vampires right now. This book is awesome. Everything that's been slowly built up, like, explodes in the pages of issue number 6. A big fight issue. The war comes about. It's really cool. I like the art. I like the coloring. I love the story. Darkseid shows up. Some cool, crazy stuff there. All right, let's move over to Dynamite. Dynamite has Altered States, Purgatori, Grindhouse, issue number 1. This is a one-shot. I really liked this book. I love this cover. There is apparently a cover where she's topless. It's like a black bag, like incentive cover or something. I got a lot of friends at Dynamite. I need to reach out to them because I need that cover. I need the super ultra sexy and saucy cover of this. This was a solid book. I liked it. Ray Fox, Alvaro Sarasica or something like that. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It's a new interpretation of who Purgatori is in a Grindhouse movie setting. I liked this book. I thought it was really cool. If you've never read Purgatori, you can read this one and enjoy it. I thought it was really cool. All right. We also have Green Hornet Miss Fury. So first of all, shout outs to Joe Corallo, because our buddy Joe Corallo is the editor of this book, as you can see right there. It's written by Alex Segura and Henry Barayas. Anyway, the art by Federico Cerisa is amazing. The artwork reminds me very much of like Greg Smallwood. Amazing artwork. A really cool story. Very pulpy. Green Hornet meets Miss Fury. Cool stuff. Great covers. There's a Mark Spears cover right there. He also, Mark did a cover for DC versus Vampires this week, I guess. Y'all, I'm not feeling good. This book was good. I liked it. Let's just move along. All right, now we got Zootopia, issue number 1. By the way, buy this to support Joe Corallo, if anything, right? So there you go. Zootopia, issue number 1, written by Jeff Parker. I had Jeff Parker on the show not too long ago, and when I did the interview with him, I had never watched Zootopia, and right after that interview, I watched it, and I'm glad I did, because this is a perfect follow-up to the movie of Zootopia. The art's great, the story's great, it's a great follow-up, it's in that same vein, it's very charming, it's really good. I love this book. I wish I could like get more into it, but like honestly, y'all, I'm like 2 minutes away from about to fall asleep again. All right, from Dark Horse, we got Those Not Afraid, issue number 1. This is a new book from Kyle Starks and Patrick Piazzalunga. This book was awesome. This book was really good. In fact, I would call this your first sleeper hit of the year. This is something that not a lot of people are going to be talking about, but it's really good. You need to check it out. It's really fun. So this is a book about 2 serial killers, right? There's this dude and this dude. And they both realize that they are about to break the record for most kills by a serial killer in this state or something like that. So I love this book. I thought it was really good. It was very impressive. It was really good. I am getting sicker and sicker by the moment. Anyway, I loved the art. I loved the story, the characters, and the ending of the book. Definitely check that out. All right, we're powering through. We are officially in powering through mode. The Serpent in the Garden, issue number 2. Another great book. Mike Mignola, Ben Stenbeck. The art is great. The story is great. Hellboy fans, you definitely want to check this one out. If you're not a Hellboy fan, go read Hellboy. Go read Hellboy. There you go. Then we got Where the Monsters Lie, Cul-de-sac, issue number 3, the penultimate issue by Kyle Starks. And Piotr Kowalski. Book is great. I love it. I thought it was really solid. Dark Horse has a lot of books this week, and a lot of them are super solid. And this is one that you do not need to be sleeping on. So let's just say that. Living Hell, issue number 2. Issue number 2 was awesome. I loved issue number 1, but issue number 2 really deepens this mythology. It's about a dude who he was a demon in hell. He was a demon in mythology. And he he escaped hell, and he became a real world person. And now he's got a different calling. This book was really good. I liked it a lot. I'm just gonna tell you, I really like this book. This book's pretty solid. All right, then we got Nemesis Rose Gallery, issue number 5. I almost didn't read this one because I felt like I was like dropping out of my enthusiasm for this book, but this is the final issue. It's extra sized and it's awesome. It's basically, what if Nemesis went to Epstein's Island? Like that's what it is, and Mark Millar knows what he's playing with, and he's playing with it so perfectly well. I love this book. I thought it was great, and a great finale. All right, then we have a finale for Kill All Immortals, issue number 5. Zach Kaplan, Fico Ocio. The artwork is great. The story is great. It really does a great job of wrapping everything up together, so I really, really enjoyed that one. Oh, I hate that we're running through this so quickly. Jim Henson Presents, issue number 1. A new book from Boom Studios. It is written by a bunch of different people. Illustrated by a bunch of different people. There is a Fraggle Rock story, there is a Farscape story, and a Dark Crystal story. I liked all of them. So if you're fans of either of those, definitely check that out. And then from Oni Press, we got Cruel Kingdom, issue number 1. A new EC comic. This one rocked. I loved the first issue of Cruel Kingdom. So it's like swords and sorcery, magic, horror type stuff. There's a story from Greg Pak and Leo Max, which is awesome. Al Ewing and Kano, they do an okay job with their story. Chris Condon and Charlie Adler do a great job with their story. Ben Winters and Andrea Muti do a great job at the end. I really liked this book. I thought it was good. And of all the new EC books, it was definitely my favorite. I really enjoyed it. So, thank you for the patience. I am so sorry this video's been so late. I do not like being late with this video. I don't like that. I'm a work, go, go, go type person. And when I'm sick, it's hard for me to realize that I'm sick. So let's recap. Cruel Kingdom was awesome. Jim Henson Presents was pretty solid. Kill All Immortals was a great ending. So was Nemesis. That was a great ending. Living Hell continued the momentum from the first one. Where Monsters Lie was great. What else we got? The Serpent in the Garden was great. Those Not Afraid was amazing. This book is really good. Check it out. Horror fans in particular, check that out. Zootopia was charming and filled with charm. Green Hornet Miss Fury is very pulpy, very cool work there, Joe. Altered States Purgatory, I like that. Oh, we're fading right now. DC versus Vampires, really solid. Batman and Robin, super solid. Batman Dark Patterns was more than solid. Absolute Batman was it was less than solid. It was all right. Aquaman #1 though was super cool. Definitely check that out. Ultimate Black Panther, I'm loving it issue to issue. Sentinels was great. Wolverine was better than the last 3 issues. Uncanny X-Men was okay. Let's get back on track with that book. Amazing Spider-Man. This has been the best issue since this whole 8 Deaths of Spider-Man thing started. So that was cool. All New Venom. I don't care anymore, honestly. What if Mickey and friends became the Fantastic Four? That was super cool and very cool. Super cool and very cool. Oh my god, I'm losing it right now. Daredevil Unleash Hell, not worth it. New Champions, okay, not super worth it. Magik is worth it. Magik was pretty good. What if Galactus? This issue was better than the last one. Kaya's great. One of the best comics out there. So is Geiger. Geiger was great. Death of Copra, it was great. Lucky Devils was really good. But the pick of the week is Transformers because it's awesome. Anyway, I'm sick as shit. And I'm about to go pass out and sleep. Anyway, Station, pop, pop, boom. Love y'all. Thank you so much for your concern. I'm sorry this video is not up to the quality that we usually do. But yeah, I feel like shit. So anyway, Station, keep on reading. Love y'all. Pop, pop. Boom. PCPX, by the way.